It's morphin' time. Because I just got done watching this movie. And it is still amazing. I've laughed so many times that my eyes are watered. And, it's truly amazing. Look at this compared to this. This tastes better than this by far. I will watch the Turbo one eventually. Okay, I will watch it along with these. But I want to talk about this because today is the release. And, I just got done watching it. It's cool. So, spoilers! I've already reviewed it once, so, to give you a basic of what it is, it's the 5 teenagers, named after all of them, named after the originals. And, so, it starts out, remember spoilers, in the Jurassic age, and the Red Ranger named Zordon, played by Bryan Cranston, is fighting with his team against the evil Rita Repulsa, who has turned evil, who was once the Green Ranger. So they're losing pretty badly. She kills all of them but him, and he buries the power coins under the ground. And millions of years later, the present time, we run into Jason, who is the football team, thing for Angel Grove. You may be familiar with it if you're watching the originals. This is an origin story. It's much like the pilot episode that never aired, basically. Day of the Dumpster is what it was called. And, good episode, actually. I watched it. And, basically, so they all get into trouble. He gets knocked out of the football team because he got into, some bad troubles. And he has a car wreck and messes up. Very Doctor Strange car wreck, kind of. Like that. And, several of those, actually. And then we meet, Billy. He gets in detention. So, he gets in detention. And then there's also this other girl named Kim. And, she's an outcast. And she beat up somebody. And was also put in detention. Billy, is... I'm not being... he comes out and says it. He's a little autistic, so he talks fast and some stuff like that. And, so he's a little bit like that. And he meets Jason, who puts up with, who eventually becomes his leader. And, and then they find the coins. Or they eventually all find each other, so. And then there's Zach, who lives out in a trailer yard. And Trini, who is, you'll find out in another scene where they all tell their stories, that she moved from school to school. Her parents don't care about her that much and what she does. And so then they accidentally find these coins, which the coins choose them, and they get really strong. And then when they get really strong, they find the spaceship buried in the ground. And so their whole mission is to find the Zeo crystals, which, if you know the story from the show, the Zeo crystals are the things that Lord Zed is after. Lord Zed is the villain that has the staff with the Z on it. And Rita Repulsa wants it. Now, you guys think that this whole movie is bad because of Krispy Kreme donuts. You think that. I can prove you wrong, okay? I can tell you that she did not want to eat a donut. That was not her entire plan. The whole entire plan of the movie was to find the Zeo crystals, which were hidden under. She just conveniently has to find. She just conveniently eats a donut, but she has to make Goldar a giant monster, which in the show he was not a giant golden monster. He was a comic relief character. And so she summons him after all they train, and Zordon is obsessed. He's stuck in the wall, which he's stuck in the tube anyway in the show, and they're like, "You are the Power Rangers, a legend group of warriors who protected the world, and my team died defending the Earth." And but he truly wants them to morph so he can get out of it. He ends up not doing it and saves Billy, who I gotta talk about. R.J. Seidler and the other guy, I can't think of his name. I don't know if he's Asian. He's a Zach in this one. R.J. Seidler and the other guy who plays Zach are amazing, and all of them are amazing. And all the villains and everyone. So yeah. So I'm just looking at all of trying to think of Elizabeth Banks. Trying to think of her name. She was very nice. She was a very good villain as Rita. She eventually gets thrown into space, which, if you know the show, she builds a thing on space, and from there she'll throw her staff down and make the monsters grow. They do a very much Day of the Dumpster, because at one point they fought all the putties when they're at the course of the final battle, and they jump out and they all land. It's very reminiscent of the pilot episode. Now, I might just be illusional, but when they were jumping over the canyon and in the desert and all that, you gotta know this, that in the show, I'm pretty sure the true command center is a giant building outside the desert. And they're attacked in the pilot episode, they're attacked right outside of it. And I saw something that looked kind of like that. It was very far away, but I could have been seeing a rock or something. I don't know. It was going too fast for me to tell. But she eventually creates Goldar. They have to find out how to work for a team. They don't use their morphers. Like, their morphers are rocks. They don't have, like, the wrist morphers or anything like that. Like, in the show, they actually had the little coins, and they hold it up and say their dinosaur names. They don't do that. Their armor comes from inside of them, which is a cool thing. It's a cool concept, I gotta say. And, yeah. So they eventually fight Goldar and win. They bring, Zordon sacrifices himself to save Billy. And, the reason for his death and coming back is to bring them together as a team. And, so, yeah. And in the show, Billy was very smart. And he does go out and find Krispy Kreme, the key to it. And, so, yeah. But her whole plan was not to eat a donut. Okay? It was not to eat a donut. And, it was just very conveniently under Krispy Kreme. And yeah, um, as for cameos and references, um, there was, of course, the song "Go Go Power Rangers," and then there is the two Mariner Bay and Reefside. One is to Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue, and one is to Power Rangers Dino Thunder. I was very surprised that this DVD did not come with the after credit scene containing the one thing that is telling us that we're probably getting a sequel. And yeah, I was just surprised by that. And it didn't come with the after credit scene, which in most movies like the Avengers Age of Ultron, they do include the after credit scenes. And of course, it's if you're familiar with the show, Tommy Oliver is the Green Ranger, and he was evil at one point, and then he joined the team, and then he becomes Dino Thunder Black Ranger, and goes on to be Zeo and all that, and eventually becomes the leader after Jason leaves, and he returned as the Zeo 6th Ranger, and yeah, I don't know if they do a second one. I don't know if they'll cover the Golden Ranger. But I hope that they do it. They've already said that it's in the talks for the sequel. I do think that the money for the toys will be helping out with that. So, yeah. Overall, just a great movie, a great origin story. You will like it more if you go and watch the Power Rangers the first time. You will appreciate it a lot more. And yeah, I think if you get behind the originals, you got to remember the original stuff. I had to learn this. The original stuff is based off Japanese stock footage. So they do a lot of crazy stuff with the stock footage because of Japanese stuff. And it's very different from all that. I don't know all the Japanese names for it. And yeah, it was very different. So yeah, just overall, I think all of their performances were pretty great. They had some pretty nice actors. I don't know how to pronounce this. Darce Montgomery, Naomi Scott, R.J. Seiler, Becky G, Ludi Lin. That's his name. Ludi Lin. He was pretty nice. He's pretty cool. And yeah, it's pretty nice overall. And I'm gonna talk about the two bonus or some of the bonus scenes. There was one they took out. It was a kissing scene between Kimberly and Jason. They took that out at the one point where she snuck into the house. And then at one point where they were in the training montage, they still do have a cameo in the movie, but it's at the very end. And so there was I checked it out before I watched the movie over again, and I'd already seen it once, the cameo deleted scene. I didn't check out any of the other ones. Didn't really want to check out any of the other ones. Only cared for those two, and yeah. So Amy Jo Johnson, the Pink Ranger, originally Pink Ranger, and Jason David Frank, the original Green Ranger, were both in the movie at the last, and they were also in this deleted scene. So, yeah, that's about it. That's all I had to say. Pretty good movie. I'm excited to watch these two. Like I said, I'll probably watch the original, the first two, the first and the last of Wild Force. Maybe watch all the in-between ones. Decide which one you want me to review on this one. Basically, the Power Ranger movie, the first one is basically an origin, kinda. But I want to mainly talk about the Turbo movie and why I hate it, or not really hate it, not like it as much. Maybe it's because of the time that I was watching it as a little kid, It terrified me. But yeah, but I got this for $7.50 at Walmart. You ain't gonna beat that. But yeah, this is kind of an updated review of the Power Rangers movie. Did you like it? Did you see it? Did you see it on March 24th? I did. And yeah, you can go back and watch my other review of it. But it's out today everywhere. So yeah, the cheapest one is to get the single DVD with a lot of after credit scenes in it. So or a lot of deleted and alternate scenes. And yeah, that would have been cool if they included an alternate end to it as well. But yeah, it's a pretty cool movie. Yeah, and I'm not disappointed in it, but the two things that I would have changed is Godar and the Megazord. Is the only two things I would have to change. So yeah, and I would make the cameos and Jason David Frank and Amy Jo Johnson have some type of interaction with the with the newer Power Rangers, which would be pretty beast, to say the least. And yeah, that's about it. Did you see it? Did you like the other ones? And yeah, I'll be watching this. I will watch this in a few days, and yeah, give me a little bit time of after reading this one. Let everybody see the review of this one. If you haven't seen the other review, it is not as detailed as this one, and yeah, that's about it for this video. If you did enjoy, please comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Remember, I will put spoiler in the title, so yeah. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Goodbye!